A lot is happening in the AI and semiconductor space. On today's episode, we are going to do some nice recaps on companies like Google, like Meta Platforms, Nvidia, Intel, and AMD. There is a lot to discuss, so let's just get started with today's episode.
I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video, and check out fool.com/Jose for the 10 best stocks to buy now. With that link, you get a promotional offer for the subscription service. Now, let's continue with today's episode.
All right, so the first company we're going to take a closer look at is Google, ticker GOOG. We can see this stock year to date is down roughly 16%, and from its overall 52-week peak, the stock is down roughly 23%. Now, for those that are not familiar, the stocks that I have been purchasing throughout the pretty much past few weeks have been the Max 7. I think the Max 7 are stocks that are super crucial, Google being one of my favorites outside of the typical Nvidia, right? So Google, Meta Platforms, Nvidia, and most of the Max 7s are ones I have been acquiring over the past few weeks. Now, Google, they did announce a lot of great AI solutions. First, let's start off with the funny ones. So yesterday on April 14th, Sundar mentioned that Google is introducing Dolphin Gemma, a large language model fine-tuned on many years of dolphin sound data. I mean, you can see where this is going, but pretty much this is kind of a small, very small AI model that you can run on your Pixel 9 phones used in the ocean. And it's a very cool step towards enabling interspecies communication. And it's more to just kind of understand and predict what sound a dolphin might make next. So pretty cool, pretty funny, but again, usually pretty cool, pretty funny things end up becoming some interesting investments and thesis in the future. So pretty cool here with this. Now, staying here with Google, and the reason I want to stay here with Google is I do believe Google, aka Alphabet, is an amazing AI company that everybody keeps ignoring for their AI investments, their AI infrastructure, and their AI capabilities. Well, today, unfortunately, I haven't gotten it yet, but today, VO2, which is their state-of-the-art video model, is rolling out to Gemini Advanced plus Whisk. Now, VO2, we can see, is kind of like the competition to Sora. Again, there are reports that it is available today, but looking at the comments, it seems like that's not the case. Now, doing something like this is going to drive a lot more kind of computational needs and infrastructure power. So definitely pretty bullish in my opinion for the AI space. This is also telling me that AI hardware is getting better, and this is what gets me excited from Nvidia. Not as an investor, obviously they sell a lot of its chips, but with their technology, and Google uses their own TPUs, but maybe some Nvidia GPUs as well. With the advancements of AI technology, it makes AI cheaper. So the more advanced we get in the hardware, the more we can bring pretty cool things to the consumer market. So VO2 was another interesting thing. Now, staying here in the AI market, we're going to shift over to OpenAI. So yesterday, OpenAI released GPT 4.1 in the API. This is more a large language model meant for the developer platform, and they mentioned it's very cheap. They gave it into a few different flavors, Nano, I forget the rest of the flavors, but overall, they're great for the development community. Now, if you are an AI investor, you are going to want to stay tuned to OpenAI this week, as Sam Altman did mention that they got a lot of stuff coming for you this coming week, kicking it off tomorrow. That was April 13th, so about 3 days ago, and then April 14th, which was yesterday actually, is when they announced GPT. There was no real announcements today, but I'm gonna guess throughout this upcoming week we are gonna hear some more reports. There are reports that we're gonna get O3 Mini, maybe even O4, and all this, in my opinion, is gonna be showcasing that AI continues to evolve and that there is a heavy need for these GPUs. Now, there are also reports coming here with OpenAI, where OpenAI is building a social network. And this is interesting. I really do believe OpenAI, one of the biggest things that they lack is real-time data. Obviously, with the partnership with Bing, they might have that somehow with Microsoft and Bing, but they don't have a social platform, right? Llama has Meta Platforms, Facebook, aka Instagram, WhatsApp. So they have a lot of real-time data. XAI has X, which they're able to collect data, and that is super crucial. Data is super crucial in this large language model world. So OpenAI needs to find a way to do it. Now, based on the reports, this is going to be like a very unique social platform. It's going to be like an AI platform. So I think if OpenAI can play it in the AI theme, there will be a strong following behind it, especially since this company has already multi-hundred million users being used weekly, right? So there is the ability for them to get it. But at the same time, if there's so many people using the platform already, isn't that already a form of data coming in for OpenAI? So interesting here, but we can see they need more and more data. Now, I am curious what Microsoft stock is doing right now. So Microsoft was down roughly 0.54%. Again, I believe most of the Max 7s are ones that I am very bullish on right now, and I have been acquiring the Max 7 list. Now, if we take a closer look at Meta Platforms is an interesting one. Meta could get broken up in antitrust case, and there's a lot of fear happening right now. So the stock has definitely taking a hit. We can see from its overall peak, the stock is down nearly 30%. Now, Meta Platforms, in my opinion, is another big player. I keep going with that Max 7, but you know what I am buying. I'm buying the Max 7 right now. So this is something to keep a closer eye on. I mean, things like this could take a few years, a few months, or even some time, but personally, nothing too worried about, as I do believe Meta Platforms has a lot of competitors in this space right now, right? I mean, the advertisement business, in the social business, you have X, and you have other players as well. So as a monopoly, I don't really think Meta is there. I mean, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and the list goes on and on. Now, if we're going to jump into the next one, we're going to look at my favorite, Nvidia. And then we have two other semiconductor stocks, but Nvidia was up today, up 1.3%. The first thing I want to take a closer look at is there is a lot of misinformation happening with Nvidia's investment. I mean, even the president doesn't understand the investment Nvidia is making. So first, I can tell you that Nvidia never said it was going to invest $500 billion. Nvidia doesn't have the cash to do that, and I don't think Nvidia will ever promise any form of that. If you kind of saw or read the press release, which is less than a 2-minute read, the message said within the next 4 years, Nvidia plans to produce up to $500 billion of AI infrastructure in the United States through partnerships with TSMC, Foxconn, Wistron, Amkor, and Spill. This doesn't say that they're going to invest $500 billion in AI infrastructure. Makes no sense. What they're saying is the amount of AI infrastructure, the cost of the data centers, and the cost of everything else to build these data centers is going to bring about $500 billion of AI infrastructure across the United States. Now, Nvidia is getting kind of expedited things because of this fake $500 billion investment. But again, Nvidia itself is not investing $500 billion. They're going to help produce the chips with various partnerships to help bring this $500 billion in AI infrastructure into the United States. Very two completely different things. Now, Nvidia did also announce kind of a new consumer product. They announced the Blackwell GeForce RTX 5060 entering the line, starting at $300. Obviously, the actual producers of the cars are probably going to charge a lot more, but it is pretty cool to see kind of more of an entry-level price point here. I know that has been kind of a topic of discussion. Now, this is going to enable AI-enhanced visualizations, the LS44, the LSS4, and it's going to have other solutions within here. They're also releasing the fixed 5060 Ti graphics card equipped with 16 or 8 gigs of memory starting on April 16th. You will also have laptops equipped with this GPU available very soon in May starting at $1,100. Again, these are just base prices. The actual price is going to be a lot higher, but we can see Nvidia also bringing their new generation of GPUs to the entry-level market. Now, the next company we're going to take a closer look at is Intel Corporation. Intel is down roughly 2.2%. In the upcoming week or so, we have two things. We have Intel earnings and we have Intel manufacturing. So Intel earnings are next Thursday, and we do have Intel manufacturing, I believe, the week after that. Let's take a closer look. So Intel IFS events. I don't know if we will see IFS event. Let's just do this live real quick. So April 29th, which I think is 2 weeks from now, and then Intel earnings are next week. A lot to kind of discuss here, but we can see the stock is taking quite a hit. So right now, Intel on April 14th, so yesterday, announced a strategic investment by Silver Lake in Altera. So Altera is their FPGA group. They are selling 51% of stake of their Altera to Silver Lake. And this is going to value Altera at $8.75 billion. This, since Intel's selling a little bit over half, they are going to get closer to like $4.5 billion in transaction to their balance sheet, which is good, right? They need that balance sheet. And Intel did kind of change some of the leadership in this market. They're making this a complete independent. The transaction is expected to close in the second half of 2025, subject to customary closing. So now it sounds pretty cool, but if you want to know more up to date about the semiconductor market and a little bit behind the lines, make sure to check out my free newsletter, whatthechiphappened.com. And a few things to know. This is a valuation dip. Altera was previously purchased at $16.7 billion in 2015, but now it's only valued at 8.75. That is a huge hit. Also, this is cool for Liputan to do it, but it has always been the plan. The previous CEO has also thought about divesting from Altera. So Altera does go independent post-sale. Altera will become a standalone FPGA solution giant, free to pivot quickly into its own market, while Intel remains a minority owner. So again, this is Altera might have been pushed back because it didn't have even though it might try to enter other markets, top leadership at Intel probably said no. Now being an independent unit, I think Altera will be able to do its own thing. Now, the final company we're going to take a closer look at is AMD. AMD we can see sitting at $95. Year to date, the stock is down roughly 21%. I am going to be doing an episode on AMD either tonight or early tomorrow morning, explaining why I am very bullish in this company. Obviously, during the downturn, I was talking a lot about my favorite, Nvidia, but now I am going to be looking at AMD. Luckily, both have gone up similar returns, so it's not like I missed the boat on one or the other, which is very great news. So I am going to be happy to be doing that AMD episode pretty soon. But what I am super excited about is AMD today on April 14th, or that was yesterday, announced its next generation AMD EPYC processor, codenamed Venice. It is the first high-performance computing product in the industry to be taped out and brought up on TSMC's advanced 2nm process technology. So this is just a few things. AMD showcasing its strength and domination in the CPU market. It's showcasing a strong partnership with TSMC and how they're willing to invest with this partner, and being the first customer in HPC for this advanced 2nm or N2 process technology is also seen as another strength, in my opinion. I think partnerships are crucial. And finally, AMD also announced that they are bringing up to validation the 5th gen AMD EPYC, which I believe is Turin CPU, that it is being built now in Arizona. So they're also going to be manufacturing chips in the United States via TSMC, something we're hearing a lot and a lot of players do. So I think this is great to just showcase AMD strength, especially in the CPU market. Like I mentioned, I will be doing a video later on. Another thing, don't forget to check out What the Chip Happened to get my overall newsletter in the semiconductor space. And I will be doing a video, like I said. So take care, have a good day, and see you all next time.